In this video, I'm going to be walking you through what you need to do to survive the summer and what we got to get ready for to prepare for the fall. So let's get out of the weeds. So I want to keep the basis of this channel focusing on two main things when it comes to lawn care: education and application. And so, yeah, I'm always going to do videos showing you what I apply and everything, but I also want to create videos that's going to explain why we do what we do. Because without having an actual foundational knowledge of why we're doing what we're doing when we do it, you'll never really fully enjoy lawn care and get the best success that you can. Before I get into the content today, I want to talk a little bit about the just growth chart of what our season looks like for cool season grass. With cool season grass, it's really broken up into two growth areas and two areas where we just kind of don't really have much going on. If you kind of begin with the spring, our lawns beginning usually for most of us in March, April, they start coming out of winter and they really kind of get through a period of nice temperatures and a lot of rain, and our grass just loves it. So it's really starting to thrive. As the temperatures continue to increase throughout the year, we get into our summer months, and cool season grass doesn't really like the hot temperatures. And so when you get into our summer months, the grass really stops growing near as much. Now you can keep it going by continuing to water and keep it green, but even if you're watering it a lot, you're probably not having to mow near as much, just because the grass isn't thriving as much as it was in the spring. And so then after we get through the summer months, we get into fall, which is our another period of really good growth for our grass, where we can make a lot of good gains in our yard. And so then as we get through fall, we get into winter, where the temperatures are going to be cooling down, and then again our grass isn't really going to be doing much throughout those winter months. So when you look at the differences between spring and fall, our grass does really well in both of those time periods, but I really believe that fall is a much easier time to really make good gains on your grass. So if you're brand new to getting into lawn care, now is a perfect time to jump in, get a little information, so that as soon as the fall starts coming, we can really dive into lawn care and really get our yards looking nice. So the main reason that I prefer fall over spring with making gains on our lawn is because of weed competition. So whenever we try to do anything in the spring, so say planting grass seed, for example, in the spring, all the weed seeds that we have in our lawns, they are all getting ready to germinate. And so anytime you're trying to do anything in the spring, you're facing all the competition from the weeds that are going to begin to germinate. Whenever we roll into fall, when we start to do stuff to our lawn there, like seeding and everything, we already have all the weeds that are going to be seen for this year, for the most part, are already out there. And so you have less competition for any new grass you have. Your lawn just is what it is at that point. So you're seeing the weeds in your lawn. You can fight off those ones and then plant new grass seed with a lot less competition. Now, one of the best things that you can do for your lawn when we get into the fall season of our lawn care is to aerate and overseed. So most of us have probably heard the term getting your lawn aerated, but you may not know exactly what it is and what it's doing. And so you can either rent one yourself. You can see an aerator. I'll show one here on the screen of what a typical one we could rent ourselves, or any lawn care company in that you can actually pay them to come and aerate your lawn. And so what it's actually going to be doing is, if you're using core aeration, so this is what I'm talking about, is mostly core aeration. And so what you're going to have is the aerator is going to run across your lawn, and it's going to have these tines, that are these big metal pieces that are stick into the ground. And what they'll do is they'll pull up a core from the ground. And what this is going to do is it's going to help break up any compaction in your lawn. If your soil and your ground's pretty compacted, it's going to break that up, and it's going to allow a lot more airflow in there. It's going to allow the fertilizer or nutrients to get down into the ground also water to get down a little bit deeper. And so it's going to provide a lot of what your lawn and your soil needs. Just by doing this is really going to kind of help just break things up and just open up your lawn to be prepared to take in new seed, new nutrients from fertilizer, and really kind of help your lawn make the gains that you're looking for as we go into the rest of the season. So now with aerating, every year I rent my own aerator. And so if you've never done it before and you're looking into doing it, I highly recommend it because it is a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work. Just know that ahead of time, that it's a really big, heavy machine and it'll beat you up pretty good running it, but it's one of those days that I look forward to for the whole year with lawn care, just because it's a lot of fun and you can really see the results of how your lawn looks after you kind of do that full day of rehabbing your lawn. A good idea if you want to actually try aerating yourself is find a couple people in your neighborhood that want to kind of do the same thing, that want to go in with you, and you guys can all split the cost, go and rent a trailer, or if somebody has a trailer, go pick up an aerator. A lot of your big box stores, you can rent them for the day. There's a lot of different places and different options for that. But go with a couple of neighbors and just go and knock it out through maybe over a weekend and just aerate all of your lawns kind of together. It'll save on the cost and it can be just a fun thing to do with some of your buddies. Another thing you can do is if you don't want to mess with aerating yourself, you can call a lawn care company. You know probably any major ones in your area, or even some local businesses in your area that'll do aerations for lawns. Now the reason I'm talking about this in July before we actually go and do it is because if you're not going to be renting your own, you need to get on their books to get it scheduled. One of the biggest problems I had was my first year when I was really wanting to get into lawn care. I didn't really know about renting an aerator myself, and so I was just going to have a company come and do it. Well, I call the company, get on the books, but they don't tell me when they're coming to the house. Well, I wanted to seed and do everything for my lawn kind of the same day that they aerated. Well, they don't ever show up, and I'm calling. I'm like, when are you guys coming? When are you guys coming? Finally, they give me a straight answer, and they said they were going to be coming like towards the end of October. Well, the problem is with that is that not getting it done until the end of October doesn't give me enough time to plant grass seed at that time before we get into our freezing temperatures, which would kill the grass seed. And so if you don't get to calling them early and get on their books early, they will book up and they will not be able to get to you until much later into the season, and you don't want to run into that problem. You got to think a lot of the people that are on their typical lawn care programs probably already have aeration kind of built into their program that they pay for. And so they already got a certain number of people already on the books. Then they get people calling them and they fill up quick. And so that's why I'm telling you now, if you don't want to rent an aerator, just go ahead and start making a call to a couple companies and price it out. I will do a video whenever I'm going to aerate. I'll do a video on it. But if you're paying somebody else to do it for you, make sure you upgrade to having them do a double pass. And so what it's going to be is instead of them just running through your lawn one time with the aerator, they'll go the opposite direction and run again. It's just going to be getting more holes, pulling up more cores in your lawn, which is just going to be helping it out. Most of the time, whenever you're paying for a double pass, you're not like doubling the price or anything. Most of the time, it's just a little bit of an upcharge. But if you're going to get it done, just getting that second pass will do a lot for your lawn. So it's worth just a little bit of extra if you're going to pay to have it done anyway. So as far as the timeline for when we're looking to do this, if you're going to aerate, I highly recommend you also overseed, or if you have bare spots in your lawn, just seed from bare ground as well. But if you're going to be aerating, I highly recommend you seeding. So you want to kind of do them close together, if not on the same day. If you can do it on the same day, great. If not, you want to do it really close together. To be more specific, we're looking for when our temperatures, for the soil temperatures, are starting to get down to around 70 degrees. And so I've talked about it before, which I'll show you here again on the screen. You can go to the Greencast soil temperatures. So just Google Greencast soil temperatures. You can type in your zip code and it can tell you what the soil temperatures are in your area. You can also go to a calendar, so you can look at like last year and kind of find out where in the year soil temperatures were around 70, and it'll show you kind of 5 and 10 year averages, so that way you can kind of dial it into when that's talking about. For many of us, it's going to be right somewhere around Labor Day weekend. And so you're talking like the first weekend into September, somewhere within that 2 or 3 weeks front, before it or after it, is probably going to be where most of us fall into the window. But if you want to be more specific, go to that website and you can find out specifically in your area when the best time to get your aeration scheduled and your seeding. So now when it comes to seeding, most of those companies will do the seeding for you if you want them. But if you have the means and ability to want to be able to seed your own lawn, I highly recommend that you don't have them seed for you. And that's for a couple of reasons. One, you're probably going to be able to buy higher quality grass seed cheaper than what they're actually going to put down on your lawn. Another thing is that you will have control and you'll know what's actually getting put down on your lawn. Most of the time when you go and you get your lawn seeded, a lot of times people don't even know what type of grass seed they even used. Well, just knowing, having some information about what grass seed's actually going down in your lawn can go a long way for you to determining issues you have in your lawns, determining what to expect with your lawn, a lot of different things. So just that little bit of knowledge as far as what grass seed to put down will go a long way to letting you have a really nice lawn. Over the next couple weeks, I will start to do a couple videos talking about what grass seed to buy, some of the things I'm seeing in store. That way you guys can go and see what's out there and get the best grass seed that's available to you. And so it'll make a huge difference if you just buy some real good quality grass seed. So before I go, I want to give you guys a quick update on how my lawn's recovering after the 4th of July. Here's the side yard, so you can still see some of the color of the stars and stuff that I had from my lawn. And so you can see, as you kind of look overall throughout the lawn, you can see different sections that are doing better than others. You can see it's a lot greener and than what it is around than the other spots. You see kind of some a little bit more brown. And so if you look, there's actually the reason, because I have a sprinkler head right here. And so a lot of water kind of gets more collected real close up to the sprinkler head. And so that's why you see kind of the areas right near the sprinkler head actually doing a little bit better than the rest of the grass. Lastly, I did a video a while back on crabgrass and nutsedge. And now you can see I was warning you guys, hey, the nutsedge will be coming, especially if you really water in your lawn. And you can see, man, tons of nutsedge just growing up over the grass. Then lastly, my curb strips over here looks good for the most part, but then you still got like those two little sections there that are always struggling. And so it's definitely, this is the area I have literally the most trouble with in my entire lawn. Definitely keeping an eye on this one, making sure it's getting a lot of water. It's doing better than what I thought it would for the conditions we've had. We've had a lot of really rough conditions, so it's definitely doing better than what I thought it would. But it's definitely still struggling a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope seeing some of the struggles in my lawn give you guys a little bit of hope for yours. We just got to hang in there, make it through this summer, and here before too long, the temperatures will be in our favor and we'll be able to have some nice, beautiful lawns. And so I'll see you guys next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.